You wouldn't believe the day I pulled up to my old family cabin on Willow Creek Lake in Idaho, expecting nothing but peace and quiet after months away, only to find some shirtless dude in flip-flops lounging on my porch swing, sipping lemonade like he owned the damn place. I stepped out of my truck, heart pounding under the midday sun, and called out, "Hey, buddy, you lost or something?" He just grinned lazily, adjusting his Bluetooth earpiece, and said, "Nah, man, you're the one who's lost. This cabin's mine now, courtesy of the HOA. That hit me like a gut punch. My blood ran cold because this wasn't just any spot. It was my grandpa's legacy, built in '85 with his own hands from logs he felled himself, full of scratched-in memories from family summers, the kind that stick to your soul. I'm Jim Harlan, 58, retired logger from these parts, and I'd been gone half a year helping my brother through chemo down in Boise, leaving the place locked tight, taxes paid, even had my buddy Hank check in now and then. But there he was. Dylan, turns out, son of Susan Whitaker, the HOA queen bee who'd turned our quiet lakeside community into her personal fiefdom with her endless rules about grass height and mailbox colors, all while smiling that fake, tight-lipped grin that screamed control freak. Susan had always rubbed me wrong, Botox to the hilt, strutting around in power suits even on boat days, finding folks for unapproved bird feeders or leaving passive-aggressive notes about community standards. I'd waved politely, figuring kindness could disarm anyone, but deep down, I sensed her hunger for power, born from some chip on her shoulder about preserving values that really meant lining her pockets or favoring her kin. When Hank tipped me off about strange activity at my place, I drove straight back, only to confront Dylan claiming the HOA declared it abandoned and reassigned it to him, her golden boy, fresh off some failed surf shop venture, looking for a free ride. I didn't yell or swing. No, I just nodded, got back in my truck, drove a mile to the hardware store, and ordered up fencing supplies, tall, black steel posts that screamed, "Back off." 3 hours later, with a crew in tow, I started slamming those posts down, not just around my cabin, but stretching right through the access road, brushing up against the HOA clubhouse wall, crushing Susan's prized rose bushes in the process. She burst out, face beet red, hands waving like a windmill, screaming, "What the hell are you doing, Jim? You can't blockade our office." I held up the old blueprints my grandpa filed way back, calm as could be, and said, "Oh, but I can. This land's mine, always has been." She sputtered, "You'll pay for this," storming off. But I whispered to myself, "No, Susan, you will." Feeling that quiet fire ignite inside, the kind that builds when you've been pushed too far after a lifetime of playing nice. Things escalated quick. Next morning, HOA goons in ties banged on my fence, yelling about violations and redrawn lines while I was nursing coffee in my truck where I'd crashed overnight. "This cabin's now under Dylan's name," one barked, waving papers like they meant something. I pulled out my certified survey, stamped fresh from the county, and watched their faces drop. Turns out, I'd smelled trouble months earlier with her weird letters, so I'd quietly refiled my title, locking it down airtight. They muttered court threats and slunk away, but inside my mind raced. Susan wasn't just petty. She was forging deeds, driven by greed to grab lakefront for resale or kickbacks, maybe even resenting old-timers like me who wouldn't bow. Met with my lawyer pal, Ed, over pie at the diner. He owed me from that time I cleared his folks' land for nada, and he laid it bare, forged quitclaim in my name, her sloppy signature all over it. "She's done this before," he said, eyes narrowing. "Bet it's a pattern power trip mixed with profit." My stomach twisted. Susan, with her cousin on the county board, thought she was untouchable, manipulating folks during hard times like my brother's illness. I scanned Grandpa's old sketches, receipts, faded photos of us planting those willows by the porch, and dropped anonymous packets in every neighbor's mailbox. What if your home vanished while you were away? It could be next. Chaos hit. Susan at the clubhouse, disheveled in sweats, ranting about lies as folks whispered. That night, Dylan stumbled to my porch, bottle in hand, tears streaming. "I didn't know, man. She said it was legit, a gift." I handed him water, sat on the steps, and said softly, "You can't undo her mess, but you can stop enabling it." He nodded, bitter chuckle escaping. "Fair point. I didn't even bring my own chair." Heavy silence fell. He'd been her pawn, blinded by Mommy's promises, but now cracks showed. She fought dirty, filed to condemn my fence as a hazard, slapped a restraining order claiming I threatened her with tools, even accused the assessor of bribes. Desperate, cornered by her own web of lies, fueled by fear of losing her empire. Then the break-in, door ajar, drawers tossed, Grandpa's Korean War medals gone, stolen memories, and leave or regret it gouged into the pantry wall he built. Knees buckled, but rage rose. This wasn't random. It was her retaliation, echoing complaints from others about smashed mailboxes or open windows after crossing her. Sheriff Malone, high school buddy, listened grimly. HOA's turned nasty, got similar reports. Slid me a flash drive from Dylan's car, embezzlement proof, fake payments to shell companies, her siphoning dues for personal perks. Organized a lakeside barbecue, no permits, just food and truth, passed out copies as sunset. Gasps rippled. Susan yelled, "Fabrications!" But Jerry the fisherman stood. "She fined me for a damn hammock. This is theft." Dam broke. Voices rose, her threats exposed as hollow. She fled inside, slamming doors. High came the arson. My dock shed ablaze, flames devouring wood, and the last photo of Grandpa hoisting me as a kid. Stood there, smoke-stinging eyes, history ash, vowing. She wanted to erase me, but she'd forged a fighter. Dylan testified next day. Mom bragged about notary stamps, promised me the spot to keep the old guy quiet. But no burning, though she said make it hard. Sheriff nodded. Immunity dangled. Old Mrs. Ellis hobbled over with a '87 snapshot of Grandpa at the dock. Can't burn hearts, Jim. Tears came then, community weaving back what Susan tore. Emails flew with evidence. Petitions swelled. Tires slashed. Squirrel nailed to post with old timers out. Logged it all, cameras up. Snooped her shed. Expansion plans. More forged deeds for widows' lots. She aimed to swallow the lake for developers. Test run on mine. News hit. HOA fraud exposed. Dylan on camera. She lied to everyone, including me. Fence ripped down. Knife-pinned note. Final warning. Doubled down. Shared with state auditor pal, Lena, my late wife's friend. Traced to bigger ring, land grabs, bribes. Set trap. Faked staying home. Watched from Hank's attic as hoods crept with gas. Sheriff pounced, cuffing Susan's beau and a shady contractor. Hidden cabin panel yielded blueprints marking more seizures, official payoffs, statewide scandal. Lena's report went viral. Arrests rolled. Board quit. But twist. State sent receiver Vance. Slick suit freezing everything, eyeing deeds anew. Dug his past. Developer ties, bonus for clearing lakefront for resorts. Windows smashed again. Stopped digging. Rebuilt fence bigger. Enclosing clubhouse. Vance trapped inside, rattling gates. Illegal obstruction. I leaned in. Private land, pal. You're my guest now. Crowd cheered. Media swarmed. Lena exposed his memo. 6-figure payoff. Suspended. Hauled out. HOA dissolved. Elected to new council. Turned office to rec center. No fines, just neighbors. Dylan dropped a check. For the mess. Framed it. Debts beyond dollars. Peace settled. But that black SUV lingering. Was Vance a lone wolf or deeper rot? Makes you wonder if fighting one bully just invites another. What about you? Ever dealt with HOA hell or community crooks? Drop your stories below, tell me if I went too far with that fence or if justice needs more teeth. Like, subscribe, share your take. Let's talk real.